One, the spirit of pride. This is one of the unclean spirits that destroys destinies. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty heart before a fall. It's behind a fall, it's behind destruction. It's a silent destroyer. It doesn't look poisonous. It looks as colorless as an acid. But a shot equals death. It's as clean as pure water. But take a shot by mistake, and that's the end. Silent destroyer. You don't hear the steps of a serpent on a rock. It glides. A serpent is moving in a thicket. You don't see the leaves move. Just glides. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3 and 4, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin shall be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God, and that is worshipped, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, seated in the temple of God, showing himself that he's God. That man of sin will come and make people to keep exalting themselves so you can bring them down. Now, let's look at the man himself in Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12 to 16. Talking about the devil. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground with this weak in the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart. Now watch. The subject of pride is an issue of the heart. I will ascend into heaven. At this time, it was the cherub that covers. He was the one leading the host of singers in heaven. He was worshiping and worshiping, and he was saying something in his heart. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Now, I will ascend above the height of the clouds. I will be like the Most High God. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell and to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the nations or kingdoms? No matter at what level, pride will bring anybody down. It's so deceptive. It looks like your self-esteem was a killer disease. Revelation 12, verse 9. The way it works out. And the dragon, the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, all his names, we deceived the whole world. Deceived the whole world. Anybody can be caught up if you are not sensitive. Anybody. Now, let's watch an episode here in Matthew 16 and verse 16 to 19. Who do you say that I am? Everybody say, you are Elijah, you are this and that. And Peter said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. What a revelation. And Jesus answered, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed it unto you, but my Father which is in heaven. His head was swelling when he was saying that. And I say unto thee, thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church. The gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Verse 19, and I will give unto you the keys. Whatever you bind, including me, on that shall be bound in heaven. His head was boiling. And then from that time, Jesus began to speak to them about he's going to Jerusalem and he's going to die and all that stuff. And then Peter said, hey, you know I'm the one said you are the Son of God, he began to rebuke him. 21 to 23. He began, and Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, "Be it far from thee, Lord." Now you see, he's Lord. He called him Lord. But it was an arrogance. "Be it far from thee, Lord. This shall not be unto thee." But Jesus turned and said to him, "Get thee behind me, Satan." At that time, Satan has entered. We are in the great days of the church. We are in the era of the rise of giants. And there shall also be casualties. There is no move of God without casualties. May no one of us become a casualty. Let me tell you how soft this is. The heart of man is deep and the wicked. Who can know it? Nobody can know what you are saying in your heart. We can only hear what you are saying in your mouth. But if you watch the man Nebuchadnezzar, he was the only one walking on top of his roof. He was the only one. You would think he's worshiping God while he was there. He was celebrating himself. And he went off. Turned to an animal. And the king spake and said, "Is this not great Babylon?" It wasn't up to anybody, which I built for the house of the kingdom of my might, by the might of my power and the honor of my majesty. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Uzziah went to the temple to worship. He didn't go there to do something else. But at that time, he had become king of kings in his sight. King of all the priests in his sight. They said, "Oh, you are not permitted to." He said, "Who are you?" "I'm the king of all of you, whether high priest or low priest." As he took the censer up like this, leprosy struck him. He died as a leper all the days of his life. Pride is a silent destroyer. Therefore, we are told, be sober, be vigilant. For the devil, as a roaring lion, goes about seeking who he may devour. So you hear some name, boo, and then suddenly, whoo. God resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. When pride sets in, grace falls up. And when grace falls up, disgrace comes down. The psalmist cries, "Lord, search me and know my heart." Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24. "And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." Know my thoughts. These all things begin from thoughts. Could they have done anything if I were not here? Is my being here? No, I mean, even God knows that if I were not here, there's no way they could get this done. We are the one holding this unit. 3 of us. 3 of us. If the 3 of us travel 1 week, there will be no unit. Now, if we are not born again, would there be no unit? No. It begins with a thought. I'm in charge. May every seed of secret pride in anyone's life be flushed out tonight. No one is worth a thing outside the grace of God. No one is worth a thing outside the grace of God. Before you met Christ, who kept you alive? After you met him, who has sustained you? Beware, it looks ordinary, but it's poisonous. A man by the name Herod, or king, made an oration and received an applause. Bah, 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 the voice of a God and not of a man. Acts 12, 21 to 23. And an angel of God came and gave him a slap, and worms ate him up, because he gave not God the glory. When they give you an applause, transfer it straight. Direct transfer. Endorse it to him because it belongs to him. Pride is a killer disease. Some have tasted some position before in their life, never again. They can't see it anymore. God doesn't lead backward, he leads forward. You won't suffer backward trend again. So it's not, oh, Satan, I cast you out. This is a matter you must deal with. It's a matter I must deal with. Consciously, deliberately, at all times. Not just saying the glory goes to God. Let it emanate from the heart. Let it emanate from the heart. God told me at the onset of this ministry, I've not chosen you because you are better than anybody else, or you are smarter than anybody else. I've only given you a privilege. Should you abuse it, there are better hundreds at the door. The good news for all of us is that there are better people than you in doing what you are being asked to do. There are better people. You are the one blocking them from coming in. There are better people than you, better people than I, in anything you are asked to do. Don't look at me, I'm indispensable. You are not. You are not. If it's possible to die temporarily and come back, you will know that you are not. To die small and come back and see how things are just running better than when you are here. I curse the root of pride in the heart of anyone today. In James chapter 1 verse 21, one of the negative effects is this. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul. It blocks access to receiving the word. What am I looking for? It's all those people who have challenges who are there. Amen. Somebody said to me that he has some testimony that can't be shared now because of the dimension. I said, your testimony has no dimension. Which dimension are you talking about? Which dimension? What are you? Did you steal it? All testimony has dimension. The first seed we received from this church, a member of this church, not even in Lagos, is $1 million for the art project. So what are you carrying about that you are breathing so hard? $1 million. There is no offering raise. He just said the Lord told him to sow a seed of $1 million. Life is pride is a killer, sir. That's why you find many people just disappear into the thing here. Just disappear. Just disappear. When God completed the Faith Tabernacle, I told our pastors, if anybody went around this building and said, we built it, God will kill him. God will kill straight. How did you build it? What did you have? Where did you get the expertise? How did you get the speed? Every stage of it is God. You can't see God. Start to see God in every area of your life. Start to see God. That job you have is God. Start to see God. Don't now pull your shoulder because you got a job and go one for an appointment. The issue here is that it's a spirit. Peter just announced Christ today as Lord and Savior, and then the same day or second day, whichever, he took him and began to rebuke him. He just told him, now whatever you bind on earth, I bind in heaven. He said, I bind you too. My God. I've become very slow in commending people, very, very slow. People have been commended before, and that was just the end of their life. Very slow. Let God commend you. When God commends you, He changes your position. When I commend you, it's an accolade. It's just, it's my impression. Whether I'm right or not, I don't know. But when God commends you, it manifests by changing your position. Your position is not changing. God has not commended you. And among the things will be pride, inner pride, inside the heart. Inside the heart. One of us in this church one time said that he built the church when he was in a particular location. He built. It will never come out of my mouth till I die that he built. The end was very bitter. I built a church, they didn't give me anything. Are you a contractor? God's sake, you build. So you can't tell what's inside people. Inside them is blocking their way. May everyone being held bound by the spirit of pride be released today.